Assalamualaikum. Good morning, kids. Now we will learn about rounding number to the nearest hundred. Let's attention.
Now let's learn what is rounding off to the nearest 100. Here we have a few numbers. 12, 68, 123, 167, 199. We have to round them up to the nearest 100. 12. Let's start with 12. See the number line. Where can you fit 12 on this number line? It is somewhere between 0 and 100. Whenever you want to round a number, there are always two options. Either we can round it down to previous 100 or round it up to next 100. Think, which option do you think is more apt? Here is a rule to help you. You have a 50 mark midway between two hundreds, as there was a 5 mark when you round off numbers to nearest 10. If the number is above the 50 mark, you round it up. And if the number is below 50 mark, you round it down. Here, 12 is below the 50 mark, so we will round it down to 0. Okay, let's take the next number, 68. We have to round 68 to nearest 100. Let's see where we can fit 68 on this number line. It is somewhere between 0 and 100. So we have two options. Either round it down or we can round it up, that is to 100, that is to 0. Think, according to the rule, if the number comes after the 50 mark, the number is rounded up. And if the number comes before the 50 mark, the number is rounded down. So here our number, 68, is after the 50 mark. So we will round it up to 100. Now let's take another example. 123. We have to round 123 to the nearest 100. Let's see where we can fit 123 on this number line. It is somewhere between 100 and 200. Here our number 123 is before the 50 mark, so we will round it down to 100. Now let's take another example. 278. We have to round 278 to the nearest 100. Let's see where we can fit 278 on this number line. It is somewhere between 200 and 300. 278 is after the 50 mark, so we will round it up to 300. Now let's take another example. 450. We have to round 450 to the nearest 100. Let's see where we can fit 450 on this number line. It is somewhere between 400 and 500. The number is on the 50 mark, that also is rounded up. So we will round it up to 500. See the figure. All the numbers between 0 to 49 are rounded down to 0, and 50 to 99 are rounded up to 100. Likewise, 100 to 149 are rounded down to 100, and 150 to 199 are rounded up to 200. So kids, we learned that in rounding off to nearest 100, we round the number to nearest 100. By rounding it down, if it's below or before the 50 mark, and round it up if it's above or after the 50 mark.
This number line shows numbers from 100 to 200. Now JC, look at this. What will happen if I place the ball at 160?
The ball will slide to 200.
And if we place it at 140?
It will move to 100.
What does this tell you?
While rounding off a number to the nearest 100, the ones and tens digits are rounded off to the nearest 100.
Exactly. And where will the ball go if it is placed at 150?
150 is the halfway number between 100 and 200. So it will be rounded off to 200.
Correct. While rounding off numbers to the nearest 100, halfway numbers are rounded off to the higher 100.